all of the knowledge that you acquire during the day, all of your meeting notes, everything that allows you to evolve professionally, personally, emotionally. You can put it here, and Hermes will distill the main ideas. When I read a
Mm.
book and when I finish reading the book in 30 minutes, I just whisper in the main ideas here. And then I asked Hermes to update the voice principles based on new expressions, new phrases, new ideas that I picked up from here. And moreover, to make an audio class for me to listen to those ideas.
Mm.
And it delivers me the audio messages in Telegram, which is
Okay.
amazing.
Hello and welcome. Today I am delighted to get Alice Shikova, who is a GTM and Web3 specialist with us, and also my colleague at Myosin. And she has been building some very cool stuff on Hermes. So today she's going to take us through that. Welcome, Alice.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you here. Today, I want to show you how to set up a simple agentic operating system for a marketing operator. And the goal is not to build a complicated agent company on day one, but the goal is to have one reliable AI teammate you can message from Telegram, give tasks to, and keep running even when your laptop is closed. Before we get started, I want to share my screen. I'm going to show you one of the use cases that simplifies my life daily. Usually, I have a lot of interviews with the founders and with the projects through Phantom AI or Granola, where I have a lot of video content. What my Hermes agent is doing, it goes to Phantom, downloads all of the videos, which are 50 minutes long, for example. It cuts this through pieces on relevant topics that I'm asking it for. For example, I want to create content on go-to-market strategy for my LinkedIn and X. It comes up with a relevant post based on my voice principles, based on my Obsidian knowledge that we're going to mention today as well. And it goes to X. It schedules the posts. You can see it right here. It tags relevant accounts, and it spreads it throughout the whole week, for example. Same is happening on LinkedIn.
So you're taking it from note takers and then it's connecting through your Hermes, writing draft copy, and then scheduling it, right?
Yes, you mean the videos? Yes. So, yes, it goes directly to the website, Granola or Phantom, downloads the videos, put it into folders on my local machine, and then just works directly with those videos through coding through my terminal. Yeah,
Brilliant.
basically, these clips were also done by Hermes. So it doesn't just cut the video, but it actually design the whole scenery. For example, it can put the company's logo here. It can make, it can zoom in or zoom out depending on my preferences and my request. It can also put the title, and it's happening all within my local environment. It doesn't go to any external tools. It doesn't need any API integrations. And this is amazing, I think. And it takes around 20 minutes. So I'm going to go back here and I want to show you how this system works and what else you can do besides this single use case, because the use cases are multiple, and they can really help you out as a marketing operator or even in your personal life. I want to also mention the difference between Hermes and OpenClaw, because I was that person who set up OpenClaw once it was released and everyone got crazy about OpenClaw. I didn't like it back then because it would break so often that it would take me hours, if not days, because I'm non-technical, to actually fix the code and get it running again. So Hermes, as opposed to OpenClaw, has persistent memory, reusable skills, and it self-improves over time based on your chat history, based on your preferences. Everything gets updated, and every session doesn't start from scratch. It always has context. And there are fewer parts in the code that are likely to break. Whereas OpenClaw is more for coding. The memory varies by setup, and there are more moving parts. So consider OpenClaw is your coding agent, and Hermes is the whole agentic operating system with memory, tools, messaging, scheduled work, browser control, and reusable skills. And OpenClaw can help you build the code, but Hermes helps you to run an AI-powered workflow around your life and work. And
Nice.
the architecture that I'm going to talk about today is pretty simple. It rotates around Hermes as your brain and tool runner. Telegram is the main interface for chatting and for communicating with Hermes, and Kanban as the dashboard to track all of your workflows. And Obsidian, one of the foundations of all of these workflows. This is your project memory. This is your knowledge base. This is the source of truth where you will keep the context for yourself or your client that you're going to work with. And we'll jump over to this in a bit.
And I'll just make a little note that we've recorded an interview with Salo, another colleague at Myosin, on his Obsidian setup. So if you want to deep dive in that, we'll post a link in the description. Back to you, Alice.
Yes. So the setup of Hermes is really simple. It's way easier than the official website where you can find all of the information in the docs. You can go to the portal where you can chat with your agent, and also socials where, by the way, Hermes team provides an incredible support. They always address the user feedback, so feel free to reach out to them if any problems comes up. But the installation process is simple, and you basically go to the official website, you copy this code, and then you paste it into your terminal, and then you start configuring Hermes. Then another step is your Telegram bot fodder, where you create a token and you create the agent identity on your Telegram. And then you connect two of them, and Hermes will help you navigate and direct you on the further step on how to set up Telegram bot and connect it with the Hermes instance. So yeah, it basically takes just a couple of steps here with Telegram and Hermes in terminal. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this setup process. By the way, the quick start is right in Hermes docs. It also has the video. So get up to speed on this page if you want to set up Hermes really quickly. And going forward, I want to also mention that if you want your agent to be able online to be working online 24/7, you need to set up the VPS where you'll have your Hermes instance. And there are several VPS services, but I want to say that it's really important to pick up the best VPS service because this is the environment where your agent will be running. And if you, for example, consider just a cheap space, a cheap service, it's not going to produce a very fast and efficient output as you would be imagining. So we chose Hetzner together with Hermes based on different criteria, on the cost, on the compute, on the security side of things as well. And once I set up my local Hermes on my laptop, it helped me to go to Hetzner and set up all of the security parameters on its own.
So you just prompted it. You just asked it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, in some of the steps, it required my human loop, for example, for setting up two-factor authentication or receiving the code on my Gmail. But in the rest of the steps, Hetzner is not beginner friendly. It's really complex, but it's worth going for Hetzner if you can set up custom parameters, especially on the security side of things. There are, though, other providers like DigitalOcean, which is really beginner friendly, but it could be more costly. Hostinger is a really popular tool that is advertised all over YouTube. Yeah. And AWS, but this is more for enterprise. So my recommendation.
How long did it take you to set it up?
VPS.
Yeah.
It took me 1 hour because I wanted to dive deeper and I wanted to understand myself what each parameter means.
Right.
Why should I go for example, Ubuntu model rather than another one? There are a lot of things that for me were underexplored. For example, here, vCPU, I didn't know what it is. And for example, I didn't know what to pick up here, expected traffic. So yeah, I would recommend chat with Hermes as much as possible by asking questions, by asking what's the best solution, what's the best way, what's the most cost-effective way, what is the safest way to set up your VPS, and it'll execute. It'll execute anything that you want, honestly. So I want to also clarify that currently I'm using local agent and cloud agent, meaning that I recommend having 2 agent instances that would be separate personas working on your VPS, available 24/7, and also having one local agent on your Mac. And they can communicate with each other. They can sync with each other in terms of context, data, and Obsidian Vault. But it's better and it's safer because you don't put all of the context on VPS. Whereas why you need local agent, not just to execute tasks within your local environment, but the reason is that, for example, for some of the tasks like cron jobs or browser control, local agent executes way better, faster, and cloud agent would scrape the web better, would find news trends better, would do the background work better. For example, in my workflow that I showed you recently with X and LinkedIn, my cloud agent can look for relevant posts or trendy posts on LinkedIn or X, and then it could draft the replies to those posts based on my voice principles that are dynamically updated in Obsidian. And it can handle this over to the local agent to just execute, to just go out there and post. And it also better when your local agent is posting, because LinkedIn and X and any other social media can trigger anti-bot, can be triggered if this would be executed by the VPS agent, because VPS agent is going to work through an extra browser, like Claude would probably work through browser automation, if you remember that, right? We all used browser automation anyways.
Yeah.
So, and the point here is that first step and the most important step is to set up your local Hermes. Local Hermes will help you to set up cloud Hermes and all of the steps above. And here I want to mention Kanban dashboard that helps me a lot to keep a high quality user experience, similar to what I would have in Claude Code or in Claude Cowork. Here I can see all of the sessions of my Hermes. I can switch the model. For example, now I use GPT 5.5 subscription, pro subscription. It also has all of the logs and all of the debug information, arrows, cron jobs. You can also find it here, all of the scheduled tasks that you pause.
Exactly. Cron jobs are scheduled tasks, just in case anybody
Yes.
didn't.
Yes. For example, I have the evening conversation plus Obsidian context update every evening. All of those 2 agents, they sync together on whether there are new pages or new notes in my Obsidian Vault. For example, local Elisa task, job applications, sheet tracking.
Take us through a bit more detail. What are those tasks that you have that's scheduled?
Yeah, I want to actually dwell on the Obsidian context update, and I want to
Right.
show you the Obsidian Vault and the importance of Obsidian Vault. Obsidian is the application that you set up on your desktop, and all of the notes, all of the knowledge that you acquire during the day, all of your meeting notes, everything that allows you to evolve professionally, personally, emotionally. You can put it here, and Hermes will distill the main ideas. It will update your voice principles based on, for example, now I'm reading a book, America Day by Day.
Mm-hmm.
And here I just put this, messy notes from the book through Whisper, by the way. When I read a book and when I finish reading the book in 30 minutes, I just whisper in the main ideas here. And then I asked Hermes to check if there are any more new notes from America Day by Day and update the voice principles based on new expressions, new phrases, new ideas that I picked up from here. And moreover, to make an audio class for me to listen to those ideas. And it
Very
delivers
cool.
me the audio messages in Telegram, which is
Okay.
amazing for, just self-improvement and self-learning. It
Wow.
is great. And when I'm thinking that I'm replying automatically to accounts on X or LinkedIn, to be honest, I don't think that this is cheating or this is posting inauthentic content, because all of the content is updated automatically, dynamically, and it evolves together with me. So my Hermes grows together with me, and all of the replies that is posted on social media kind of come from my tone of voice, from my knowledge base. So it's half-half, but I think we're getting closer to the full replication of your identity on social media, to be honest. And this is really exciting and scary at the same time. Yeah.
Do you feel that having used Obsidian for a while, that the answers or the drafts messages in social media have improved over time?
Yeah,
Have
I'm
you?
still tracking this. Because it really takes time, days, weeks. And I started using Obsidian just a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
But I think it's the data and the context that you feed your AI agent with is the most important part of any system you would build with AI. For example,
Mhm.
even if you work with companies or with clients, I usually run an exercise questionnaire when companies are answering different questions for around 20 minutes by gathering necessary documents related to the brand, setting up goals for their businesses. And then we set up the unified Obsidian Vault,
Mhm.
which is shareable, and all of our agents have access to this vault. That is basically the source of truth, and that is something that freelancer marketers or marketing agencies will be implementing for any companies that they will be working with.
Mhm.
Uh,
Awesome.
yes. So Kanban dashboard is also, so it's not a default dashboard that you will actually find. And if you see here, it runs locally. I will
Mhm.
not be able to open it from my phone, and you will never be able to find it somewhere on the web, which makes it more secure. Setting up Kanban, you can also find it in the docs in the automation section here. And how to set it up? Copy this link, paste it to your Hermes, and ask it to set it up.
Brilliant.
That's the whole
Genius.
workflow. Yes.
Love how easy things have become.
Exactly. That is crazy, but that is our reality. And I would also recommend to keep high security standards and always feed your Hermes with news regarding security articles, and keep the updates of Hermes, because they release updates once per several days.
Mhm. So how do you keep on top of that? How do you monitor the most important security developments?
I would say the most security for now, I'm just randomly picking up security articles that I'm scanning myself, first of all. For example, on X, sometimes I find the security and how to keep your Hermes secure from the official Hermes
Mhm.
account on X. And this is one of the ways. But whatever, you can actually ask Hermes
Exactly.
to evaluate how secure your setup is and how to make it more secure. This is what I
Mhm.
did 2 days ago on VPS. I just asked how we can harden security on VPS, and it changed some parameters in terms of firewalls, in terms of browser, and some technical words I still don't understand fully.
You could
But
probably run it as a cron job as well, like scour the internet or these websites for
yeah,
anything
yeah.
related to security issues.
Yes, actually, that's a great idea. Thank you, Shane.
Not-
If we want to dwell on the scheduled posts, again, the setup is very simple. So there is no actual prompt that you're given to Hermes. You're just asked to do a thing with a specific goal, and it executes. And then later, if you like it, or if you want to tweak on something, you can ask to. It actually automatically puts this into a separate skill.
Wow.
You don't even have to ask to build a skill. It just builds a skill, especially if you use it on a regular basis. And
Yeah.
always, if you change anything or if you are not satisfied with anything, it updates it. For example, here, it made several posts for me. And you can see that in some of the posts, there are no tagging. For example, here, there is no tagging of any accounts. And I started to change and edit those posts from the very beginning. If you can see here, yeah, here there is already tagging. So I asked my Hermes to go to X and see how I changed the tweets. And it updated the guidelines based on this. And I don't know why it didn't finish the rest. I think
Mhm.
because I was multitasking with a lot of things, and it cannot actually execute thousands of tasks automatically. It's still prioritizing the tasks. So now it should change all of the rest based on my intake. And also you can prioritize the tasks in your Kanban dashboards. Here, you can see the actual dashboard with to-do lists, scheduled tasks, ready, progress, blocked, and with the ones that is done. You can, for example, open this task. You can add a comment here. So you can also chat with Hermes through the dashboard, which, in my opinion, provides a better user experience if you are on your laptop and if you work not just with Telegram somewhere outside. You can, make it complete. You can archive the tasks. You notify home channels here. I believe you can add more channels like Discord or Slack or WhatsApp. And also, there are different profiles. You can have the whole agentic team here. There is a default agent. There is a builder. For me, right now, I'm running mock operator and orchestrator.
Nice.
Orchestrator is my VPS agent that gives tasks to the local agent, to mock operator. But you can have way more agents here. It's just a matter of how much money you're ready to invest. So for now, one subscription on OpenAI is enough for me to run 2 instances.
Okay. And how much does that set you back a month?
I think it's around 100.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. And then with the agents, so the common wisdom is to minimize the tasks given to different agents, make it as specific as possible, and have clear parameters. Do you agree with that? Is that how you operate with Hermes?
To set up clear parameters, yes. But what's interesting with Hermes, if this evolves with you and it knows your preferences, it understands you way better, even if you don't specify the smallest details, because
Awesome.
it has the full context of your life.
And what are you looking to use it for in the future? Do you have any ideas of what you're keen to play around with
Yes,
going.
I'm gonna finish packaging this system, and I'm gonna use it for my clients, where we will be sharing the Obsidian Vault first, and we will have the system with skills built by Hermes with the best practices of my marketing experience as well. And this is just the beginning, I think, but it's already something. It's something that's already working. It's not just I'm building and building a system. I'm actually using this system already now. And I think it's important to understand that even a thing that is working and not breaking is already a victory.
I agree. Well put. Is there anything else that you want to show us, or we'll leave it there?
I think we can leave it here. But I want to say that if you guys got interested in a specific topic, in a specific part of this video, we can dwell on this more. And happy to share all of the necessary links for a quick setup of Hermes and of spinning up this system on your local machine.
Fantastic. And if people want to follow you on Twitter or so on, where can they find you?
Yes, please go to um, Alice SH15. You can find me here on X, and I'm Alice Shikova on LinkedIn.
Perfect. Alice, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for
Great.
having me.
Of course. Bye.